I really believe in a strong we, in leaders working together, working in team. You know, God Himself was 3 in 1, very diverse but unified in the vision they had. And to really have a good team, you have to have people in the team that take their place and acknowledge and confirm the others in their place. Clear roles, clear expectation, clear commitment, and they can also complement each other in a good way. A second thing, you need to have really a clear understanding of how conflicts and tension, you resolve that in an open, fair and direct way. And the third thing, you need to have a clear vision together, strategy and goals. But let's look at the area of conflict and tension and how to resolve conflict. You know, conflict, you can view it in 4 different ways. You can have internal conflict in your own life. Am I at the right place? I'm doing the right things. And you can have different internal conflicts. That's one way of looking at conflict and tension. But then you can have interpersonal conflict and tension between the people in the team. And that's because you are different, all of you. You have different personality, you maybe have some different values, you're coming from different where you have grown up, you maybe come from different church contexts, you are different. And then you can have different interpersonal conflicts and tension in the team. A third thing is role conflict. And therefore I always say it's so important that you clarify the roles in the team. If the roles are unclear, the expectations are unclear, well, it's so easy to have tension in the team. So you can have role conflict. Do I fit in my role? Am I doing what I should do? Or should I have another role in the team? So the role is important to clarify. But then you have also conflict with the organization or the value system or how the organization is shaped or the church is shaped. And sometimes this is the most difficult to deal with because that's deeper. And it's often not revealed before, after a while, when you come closer and closer together, then the true values in the life of the people are revealed. And you get some tension and conflict because your conviction, deeper conviction, is different. And then you have to put that on the table. And I think in all teams, you need to talk about the deeper value system in your life and share it with each other to clarify the values that you are common in and then what you build the new church or the team on and the organization you build. So all these 4 things are places of conflict. So you have the interpersonal the personal conflict in yourself, the internal, and then you have the interpersonal conflicts with the people around. Then you have with the roles, but then also could have with the value system, with the organization, with the conviction that is more deeper in your life. But here is a way of looking at conflict. Well, conflicts come often, mainly from the differences. You are different in your personality, in your motivation, in your skills, in who you are. In a team, there is diversity. And the diversity of differences creates something in the team that they can misunderstand each other. And sometimes misunderstanding, when you start, that can also lead to disappointment and also hurts. Maybe you have experienced that. I have experienced that. I have built a lot of new teams and built teams. And because of the differences, we misunderstand each other. We hurt and disappoint each other. But then what happened? And this is the dynamic of building walls and building that can build to conflict. Then you start in the small mind or your mind, and you start to accuse the people around you, accuse the different people in the team. And you, not openly, but you start to think. And what that creates distance. In your feeling, you get something against the other. You don't understand them. You are disappointed. you are hurted, and you start to accuse, and then you start to maybe have something a little bit against them, and you create distance, and you withdraw. And that's really the first steps of growing a conflict. Because then mistrust can grow. And misunderstanding, deep misunderstanding and mistrust can grow. And sometimes it even lead to bitterness and unforgiveness and hatred, or you really have a deep conflict. The question is, when this happens, because it will happen in every human relationship, in every team, you need to do a conscious decision. Where can you stop this building of the wall? Well, when you come into accusing each other and withdrawing from each other and create distance and maybe have unforgiveness in your heart, well, then you don't communicate anymore. You're really not communicating anymore. So you have to stop it on a lower level. So can you stop it by, we are not different? I don't think so. Can you stop it by, I will never misunderstand the other? Well, I don't believe so. Can you stop it by, I will never hurt or disappoint each other in the team? I'm sorry, I'm afraid. But can you stop to accuse the other? That's a personal choice you make. And in the team, you have to make the decision that when things are happening of hurting and disappointment, you go to each other and you talk it through. You don't accuse and withdraw, but you go and put it in the light, put it on the table and talk direct, honest with each other. Then you really take and resolve the conflict on the lowest level, because you can never come to the place where you never misunderstand or never disappoint or never hurt each other. That will happen, but you can make a choice, and as a team you can make a common choice that we will not build a wall inside our team. We will go to each other, we will forgive each other, and the one who feel hurted, the one who are disappointed, are the one who have the responsibility to go to the other and to talk. That's important. This is how you can solve conflicts and tension, and not building wall, but build bridges of communication in your team.